We need to talk about Moldavite, what it is, what it's not, its history, side effects, and spiritual benefit. Discover what happens when you handle it, and information I have never shared before. By the end of this video, you will learn everything you need to know before potentially investing in this life-changing stone. Hi, I'm Ethan Lazzerini, and I'm the author of 3 crystal healing books, including Crystal Grid's Power. To really understand the energy of Moldavite, we need to go back to the beginning of the story and look at how Moldavite was created. Around 14.7 million years ago, a huge meteorite struck the Earth in what is now modern-day Germany. And this formed the Rise crater, and the impact was so powerful that the surface of the meteorite and the surrounding rock and sand of the impact zone is estimated to have reached temperatures many times hotter than the surface of the sun. And what happened next blows my mind. The rock and the soil from the impact vaporized, yes, I said vaporized, and was flung up into the Earth's atmosphere. And these tiny droplets of liquid rock then began to join back together again into this molten green glass. Then they rained down back onto the Earth, and this material was scattered 250 to 400 kilometers away from the impact zone, landing in what is now known as the Czech Republic. So lots of it was found near the Moldau River, and this is where Moldavite got its name. So as you can see from the story of Moldavite's creation, it's pretty dramatic and complex, which has led to some understandable confusion. Moldavite is not a meteorite, so it didn't come to the Earth looking like the green stone that we see today. So it's actually a form of tektite, which is a glassy material created from a meteor impact. But Moldavite did travel through the sky afterwards and did land in a completely different location. Many pieces probably contain particles of that original meteorite, so it's kind of like a fusion of earthly and extraterrestrial matter. And Moldavite is also unique because it is the only green tektite that I know of. So despite its recent popularity, Moldavite has actually been known to humans for tens of thousands of years. And not many people know this, but Moldavite pieces were found at an excavation in Austria, and they were found with the statue of the famous Venus of Willendorf. This is the oldest statue of a goddess ever found, and it is estimated to be between 25 and 30,000 years old. And this shows that these people must have seen Moldavites as divine or sacred objects. And I will let you know when we get to the properties of Moldavite, why I think it was associated with an ancient mother goddess. So Moldavite may have been used by ancient people similar to obsidian to make tools. Historically, Moldavite has been used to make amulets, talismans, and jewelry. Moldavites began to grow in popularity for their metaphysical properties in the 80s. In 1988, the crystal healing author Robert Simmons published a book called Moldavite, the Starborn Stone of Transformation. I don't think he gets enough credit for this, though many people first heard about Moldavite through the book of Stones, which was published in the 2000s. He has since written another book, which is even more up to date, on Moldavite, called The Book of Moldavite, which I highly recommend, by the way. And if you can't find this in your local crystal shop, I have a link in the video description where you can get it online. Before I get to what many people experience with the stone and the reported side effects, let's look at the spiritual benefits and the energy. And this is based on a lot of my personal experiences through having a piece of Moldavite for about 15 years. And this includes information given to me in my meditations with Moldavite, from Moldavite, which I have never shared before. Moldavite is a high vibration crystal, and it has an otherworldly type of energy to it. To me, it feels like a combination of air, fire, and spirit elements. Moldavite works on all the chakras, including the higher chakras, which are above your head. It's a powerful activator and cleanser of the third eye, your crown chakra, and the heart chakra. But please watch the whole of this video before you even consider placing Moldavite on any of your chakras. Moldavite is a deeply cleansing crystal that can cleanse the entire chakra system at the same time, or it can focus on wherever it finds a blockage in any of your chakras. It's very detoxifying, and it clears out any energetic blockages and helps you release karmic blocks as well. And it has the ability to go straight to the source or the root of an energy blockage. And if you look at Moldavite, it's covered in these scars which were created from this cataclysmic event. So this is kind of like a purging effect, and it can sometimes bring out an emotional wound that needs healing. And this can be uncomfortable for some people. It raises your vibration, expands your consciousness, and also activates the light body. More practically, Moldavite helps you embrace your individuality. It helps you see the bigger picture and gain a higher perspective on your life or any situation. It has a galactic vibration, which is almost like a cosmic portal, and you might resonate with Moldavite if you're a starseed or anyone that works with extraterrestrial beings or energy, and this stone helps starseeds remember their soul's mission. Moldavite has become well known for accelerating people's spiritual growth and even triggering spiritual awakenings, and this can lead to some sort of multi-dimensional experiences such as clairvoyance, lucid dreaming, and astral travel. It can stimulate symbolic dreams. If you think about how Moldavite came to be created, you can see why it has become known as the Stone of Transformation. Moldavite supports you in overcoming inner and outer obstacles. It can move things which are not serving your highest good out of the way. More on this in a minute. Moldavite does not like stagnation, so it can break you out of a holding pattern. It's like a catalyst that can align you with your life purpose, shifting you onto a higher timeline if that is what you need. I have found Moldavite to be connected to the Green Man and the Egyptian god Osiris, who are both associated with resurrection and rebirth. Green is often a colour associated with growth and new life, and this crystal also links like a stargate to the constellation of Orion. I think the reason Moldavite might have been associated with a mother goddess by ancient people is because she represents rebirth and the creation of new life. If you're enjoying this video so far and you found it to be helpful, could you please give it a thumbs up, and this will help this video reach more people. Thank you. Before I get into the common side effects of Moldavite, I just want to go over some of the myths I see going around. So one of them is Moldavite isn't a gemstone, and I think the confusion comes from it being a tektite and not having a crystal structure. So this does not mean that it can't be used as a gemstone. Gemstones have never been limited to what mineralogy classifies as a crystal. Moldavite is even listed in the Gemstones of the World book, which is a kind of standard book used by gemologists and jewelry makers around the world. So the next myth is all cut and polished Moldavite is fake. So Moldavite has been cut and made into gemstones and polished stones for much longer than this trend. But I will say that cut and polished gemstones made of Moldavite are very hard to tell if they're genuine or not, because you've lost that surface texture, which is one of the telltale signs that your Moldavite is real. It makes it very hard, so it's a much riskier purchase. The next myth is Moldavite is the only extraterrestrial gemstone. So we've already touched on this topic, and Moldavite wasn't really formed outside the planet. There are actually extraterrestrial gemstones. So one of them is the Gibeon meteorite and the Palisite meteorite, which contains whole olivine crystals inside of it. Just don't tell anyone I told you this, because we don't want to raise the prices of those anymore. There's no denying that Moldavite is one of the most powerful crystals. Over the years, many people have shared their experiences with Moldavite with me. There are some common patterns with side effects and a few bad experiences people have with Moldavite that I think are worth learning about before you try Moldavite. And I've graded these into a mild to intense number system. And you could have one or none of these side effects. So lots of people feel heat in the palms of their hands when they hold and handle Moldavite. And if you are not someone who normally feels the energy of crystals, you might actually experience this. And I think it's the power of the stone that does that. And you might feel this in one of your chakras as well, and it's probably caused by the purifying fire energy that is activating within the crystal and within you. Many people report a pulsating energy occurring, and this can also be combined with the heat sensation, and it's like an energy pulse, usually when people touch it. And if you're sensitive, you might even feel waves of energy passing through your aura, and you might be picking up on almost the memory of the impact that created this crystal radiating from it. I experienced dizziness myself when I first came into contact with Moldavite, and it's one of the most common effects that people report. And the reason this happens is because it's so high vibration and it can unground you. Also, the rush of high impact cleansing energy can kind of knock some people off their feet, and it's not something you normally experience, right? So, in most cases, though, this is kind of not a long term thing, and it may only happen once or during the beginning. Some people feel completely unwell when they work with Moldavite, and you might even get a headache or just feel really strange or off. And in the rarest cases, some people have reported being sick, uh, as in vomiting. So this could be a sign that it's not compatible with your energy or just too strong for you, but it could also be a physical response to this detoxification and cleansing process, almost like a purge. I even had one person tell me they had an outbreak of acne when they first worked with this stone, and they had not had acne since they were a teenager. And Moldavite can sometimes bring up old emotional wounds, trauma, and unhealed parts of yourself. In most cases, especially when you're ready, you can often face this, work through it, and heal it. But this isn't an easy thing, and some people just don't feel ready for that. Some of the fear I have seen and the disinformation that I see online probably stems from those experiences. When people don't understand what's going on and they're not used to dealing with things like that, they can misinterpret it as dark energy or something else going on, when in reality they are facing their fears and even their shadow self. So life disruptions, and this can be experienced as things disappearing out of our life, things going away that were there 1 minute and then they're not. People could leave your life. Sometimes people have a relationship breakdown. Some people have lost their job. And these are all really challenging things, but usually in hindsight, they later realize why those things had to happen. And this is another reason why there's some misinformation going around and fear, because people can misinterpret those things as being bad luck, when in reality it's not. It's all about your perspective and getting kind of an understanding of what's going on later. And what if you just don't feel any side effects or symptoms? Well, this can actually be a sign that you've actually done the work and the healing already, and you didn't need to experience those things. And if you want to hear about my personal experience with Moldavite, learn the signs that Moldavite might not be for you, plus my top tips on buying Moldavite and how to adjust to its energy, there will be a part 2. And I will add that video to the end of this one once it's done. And if you found this video to be helpful, please like it and share it with like-minded people. And remember to subscribe if you want more crystal content like this, and check out the videos appearing on screen now.